ladies and gentlemen. Actually, hold on. As usual, I have to do this. Testing, testing. One, two, three. Get to the Chamber of Secrets. 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 All right, we're good to go. How's it going, everyone? This is the Thought Provoker, and welcome to my channel. Welcome to my live stream. As you can see by the title, it says open panel. Should poor people have children? So, what do you guys think? Should poor people have children? If anyone would like to come up, then feel free to do so. The link will be in the live chat in 5 seconds maximum. There we go. So if anyone wants to come up and talk about this, then feel free to come up. Feel free to click the link. It will lead you to this panel. So, just waiting for others to come up or to show up to the live stream, excuse me. Okay. Let me share this for a moment. Hang on. Okay, let's see. Browsing around. How's it going, man? Browsing around says, no, I don't think poor people should have children. Nor not rich people either, because this world is already wicked enough. Bringing a child here is a gamble. I 1000% agree. Bringing a child into this world, creating a child into this world is an absolute gamble. That is not worth taking. But I would say especially poor people, people shouldn't have children, but especially poor people. Especially poor people. It is irresponsible to have children that you know you cannot afford. Poor people struggle for themselves. Poor people cannot take. Listen, if you cannot afford to take care of yourself, if you are struggling by yourself, what makes you think that you can afford to have children when you can't afford to take care of yourself? Guys, it makes no sense. Don't be selfish, people. If you can't afford to take care of yourself, don't have children. Would you want to be born into poverty? I think not. Then don't create a child into poverty, please. You know, there are some people who think that poor people should have children. What is the justification for a poor person to have a child? What is the justification? Oh, I may not be rich in money, but I will be rich in children. What? Nonsense. All right. Browsing around. Browsing around says, I hold on a second. Anyway, browsing around says, I agree, especially poor people shouldn't have children, not rich. At least rich people can provide better for their offspring. A lot of humans don't think before they have children. Exactly, and this is why I make my videos, is because I want to provoke anyone who is watching my videos. I make these videos because I want to provoke your thoughts. Not out of not because I want to be spiteful or malicious. No, because I want to provoke your thoughts. I want to ingrain certain things in your head. I want to encourage critical thinking. I want to challenge you people who watch my videos so that you will think before you do certain things. A lot of people have children, not saying all, but a lot of people have children just to do it or whatever the reason is. And a lot of people that do have children, they haven't put much thought into it. So this is where I come in. This is where I, the thought provoker, come in. I speak the way I do, you know, in my videos because I want to ingrain a particular message in your heads. I want to provoke your thoughts. I want to provoke critical thinking so that once you leave my channel, you will think before you have children. You'll think critically. You'll take you will take a lot of things into consideration before you choose to have children. The other side says most people don't care because they're stupid though. Wait, most people don't care because they're stupid, though they're stupid though, so they will continue to have kids. Noted. Mm. Yeah, people just don't think. People just don't think. Some people in life, right? Out of all the people that choose to have children, some people choose to have children for the silliest of reasons. For the silliest of reasons. Like legacy, for example. Oh, I'm going to have children because I want them to continue my legacy. Sir or madam, your legacy is in poverty. Why would you want to continue that? I'm not saying that out of spite or malice, but think about it. No one, what person in the world wants to be poor in poverty? If you can't get yourself out of poverty, don't expect your children that you create into this world to get you out of poverty. That's not fair. That's not right to have that expectation. You can barely take care of yourself. How are you going to take care of those children that you create into this world? And by the way, poor people, if you're planning to have children, don't expect those children to be grateful for you putting them into poverty. Don't expect them to be grateful for you putting them in financial hardship. Don't expect them to be grateful. For one, you made the selfish decision to have children. Having children is a want, not a need. So you chose to have children for yourself. Why am I saying this? Because a lot of parents, unfortunately, think that by having children, it's selfless. That by having children, they think they are doing their children a favor. I did you a favor. I gave birth to you. I put clothes on your back. I fed you. If I was a parent, I swear to God, I would be embarrassed if I were to make these statements. Because 9 times out of 10, when a parent says that to their child, they are saying it as a guilt trip. Pathetic. It's disgusting when you think about it. Some people have no shame. Huh? Some people, especially some parents, have no shame. How could you try to guilt trip someone by stating that you basically did the bare minimum for your children? What else are you supposed to do once you have children? Not feed them? Not clothe them? What? Anyway, the other side says there's nothing on this planet besides wage slavery, anyways. So why have kids? Well, at least in the USA, that's how it is. It's like that in the UK as well, but in the United States, it's probably worse. You know what? It's let me put it like this: we have this wage slavery. I mean, wage slavery is everywhere, but this wage slavery is in the UK, but you see, the wage slavery in the United States is basically the it's UK wage slavery on steroids. Anyway, yeah, make it make sense. We live in a world of wage slavery. Capitalism. I'm not bringing. One of the reasons I'm not going to have children is because I don't want them to become a future wage slave. That's one of the main reasons why I don't want children. I don't want to create a child into this world to become a wage slave. It's pointless being a wage slave for decades and then dying. I'd rather just not have children. That is so pointless. And here's the thing, when you choose to have children, there is no guarantee that they're going to want anything in life. And then those types of people who don't want anything in life get criticized, but it's not their fault. When you create someone into this world, you can't guarantee that that they'll like this or they'll like that. No, it's like food. There are certain foods that people don't like. That is not their fault. Their taste buds just don't like that food. Doesn't make them mentally ill. Anyway, browsing around says, in my opinion, most people have children because they're just influenced by society. Yeah, influence is such a huge part of having children. Keeping up with the Joneses, as my dad says. But the thing is, a lot of these people are also not exposed to the idea that not having children is an option. All some certain people have been exposed to is the idea that you have to have children, like it's an obligation. If more and more people were exposed to the idea that having children is not an obligation but is optional, less people would have children. The other side says, excuse the way my first comment came out. I'm using talk to text. Oh, okay. Honestly, if it's getting in the way, you can just type if you want. It's your choice, but it does that sometimes. So, what are your thoughts, people? Should poor people have children? In the meantime, whilst you guys answer this question, I'm going to share this live stream. Hold on a second. I'm going to share this live stream to someone. Whilst I do that for like 1 or 2 minutes, I'm going to put this music on. Okay, I'm back. By the way, thank you everyone for tuning in. Let me read some comments. Black Hole says, "Howdy, partner." Howdy, partner. How's it going, man? Caleb Kerr says, "Procreation is a cultural requirement, especially among those deemed desirable in society. It keeps our species going and our suffering." So, here's the thing. What? It's not a requirement, though. You don't have to procreate. Yep. Our species is what I meant. Yeah, but no, you don't. It's not a requirement. Cultural requirement. So, Caleb, should poor people have children? Browsing around says, "I can never understand poor people wanting to bring children here, because if you're already poor, then how can you even take care of your children? It's so unfair to the children." This is not rocket science. You are absolutely correct. But yet, you know what I've noticed about a lot of poor people? I'm not saying this out of spite, it's just the truth. There is a correlation where a lot of poor people tend to be dumb or uneducated. There is a correlation there. You know what doesn't help? There are some parents out there, I've said this before, I'll say it again. There are some parents out there who believe that sex education should not be taught in schools, which is crazy. If sex education is not being taught in schools, well, then don't complain or get mad at your offspring for being, let's say, 14 and pregnant or 16 and pregnant. Don't get mad at them, since they didn't know the consequences of having sex, Yeah, there are people that are having sex, but they don't realize that a baby comes after that due to lack of education. So to anyone who thinks that, sex education should not be in schools, what are you thinking? Why are you thinking that way? No, they should absolutely teach sex education in schools. Why would anyone think otherwise? Anyway, Caleb Kerr says, no, the poor shouldn't breed, but neither should anyone. As an anti-natalist, I prefer to avoid saying this about the poor because I don't want others to confuse anti-natalism with for elitism or eugenics. I understand. I'm an anti-natalist myself, so yeah, I don't think anybody should have children, like rich or poor. I guess this is more in the context of especially poor people. So whilst no one should have children, I would say poor people especially shouldn't have children. The other side says, you are right, my mum didn't teach me anything about sex. My father wasn't around till... Wait, hold on. The other side is meant two. Okay. So what you're really saying is, you are right, my mum didn't teach me anything about sex. My father wasn't around to. Noted. Wait, hold on a second. Hold on. Your father wasn't around to. May I ask why they didn't teach you about sex? And how come your father wasn't around to, if you don't mind me asking? Black Hole says, even if I could afford it, I still would not have children. Not for anything. Not for millions. Dollar. Yeah, for me, rich or poor, I'm not having children. No way. No, not a single religion in the world will convince me otherwise to have children. No way. Not a religion in the world, no amount of money in the world will convince me to have children. Okay. All right, people. Oh, hold on. Let me turn off the music. There we go. There we go. I had to turn off the music anyway. Caleb curses, just so you know, I may be in and out of the conversation, but because technical... sorry, my bad. Just so you know, I may be in and out of the conversation because I'm technically working at the moment. I may miss some of what you say. Noted. Thanks for the heads up. Thank you. The other side says my mum was overly religious. I really don't know why she didn't teach me my brothers about sex or allow our uncle to. My dad lived far away. He wasn't president at the time. What is it with fathers living abroad or just not in close proximity? Like, what is it with fathers like living so far away from their children? Why is that the case? I don't get it. I don't understand. Did she expect the schools to teach you about sex? Just asking. Browsing around says, and what's so sad is that a lot of poor people will still expect their children to grateful for the life their parents gave them. And the children didn't ask for this life. It's sickening. Exactly. That's even worse. You gave your children poverty. Why should they be grateful for that? Especially when they never signed up for all this. Let's let's see. And guys, to all of you, to anyone who is thinking of, to anyone who is poor, right? To anyone who is in poverty, and you're thinking of having children, ask yourself, would you want your parents to have you in poverty? Would you want your parents to have children whilst poor? Not one person has ever said, "Oh, I want to be poor. I am striving to be poor." No, no, people don't want to be poor. They want to be the complete opposite. They want to be rich, or at the very least, make a high enough income. But no one wants to be poor. So if you don't want to be poor and you're in that position, then don't have children. Don't put a child in that position and then expect them to be grateful. Like, what is that nonsense? And then making statements, you know, like, "Oh, I put clothes on your back. I've sacrificed a lot of for you." A lot of parents who talk like that are narcissists. By the way, for my next live stream, I'm going to do a live stream called "Do Parents Have a God Complex?" So stay tuned for that one. Anyway, Mastermind says, my whole family is poor, working to survive. Literally no one in our family is rich. I can't even depend on my cousins or relatives to help me because everyone is struggling. This is the problem, man. People people glorify struggling so much at the expense of other people. And by other people, I mean, children being brought into existence, being created into existence. People people have this mindset of, oh, I'm going to I'm struggling, so I'm going to have kids so they can know what it means to struggle, because struggling builds character. Jesus Christ. Hmm. Let's see. Have children so that they can struggle, or just not have children at all? Hmm. Guys, respectfully, it is such an easy option to just pick the latter. Have children so they can struggle, or just not have children at all. Which one makes more logical sense? Anyway, I'm sorry, Mastermind. I'm sorry that you have to go through this. Honestly, Mastermind, if you don't mind me asking, are you going to have children? Struggling, people who glorify struggling, man, I don't understand you people. If you can make your child's life easier, why not? Why would you make your child's life? Why would you have children and then make their lives harder? Because you struggle, so you're putting your children through that? Oh, I struggle, so you have to struggle too. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Get rid of that mindset. Don't be a crab in a bucket. Don't be a crab in a barrel. All right? If your own parents have put you through hardship, and you plan to have children, you shouldn't want those hardships to be put on your children. You know, there's a saying, hurt people. Because you got hurt, you're gonna hurt someone else. Nah, your own offspring. Come on, people. Wake up, wake up. But you know what? I'm glad there are more and more people deciding to not have children, especially in this world, with everything being extremely expensive, and also capitalism, wage slavery. Let's see. I want to hear someone give me a justification for a poor person having children. I'm not belittling poor people. I'm just saying that if you're poor, you shouldn't have children. Like, what? Can you honestly say poor people should have children? Can you honestly say that? Chances are people will use a religious excuse as to why poor people should have children. Because God said, be. Wait, what was that phrase? What? God said, be fruitful and multiply. Whatever. I've spoken to some Christians, right? I spoke to one in particular, and one told me that in actuality, that phrase, be fruitful and multiply, was meant for Adam and Eve. Apparently, if my memory serves me correctly. Anyway, I'll be honest, the other side, I think you're better off just typing because do as you please, but I would recommend just typing because you're making too many errors. Respectfully, but it is your choice. The other side says the reason that is the case with many fathers, especially black fathers, is because the mothers pick bad men. Man, hold on. Men they knew would never stick around. Yeah, there's that as well. Yeah, there are some women out there, many women out there, who will intentionally get pregnant by a man that they know they don't, you know, intend to last with, all because they want a mini me. No, seriously, there have been some women who will literally pick any man on the street and get pregnant by them, all because they just want a baby. I've heard women literally say this. They didn't care how the man was, they just wanted a baby so badly. Every person deserves a mother and a father if they're going to exist. If they're going to exist, they deserve a mother and a father. Not just a mother, not just a father, but both. It's so selfish to intentionally get pregnant by a man that, just any random man, all because you want a baby and you know that you're going to end up being a single mother. Because you're robbing your child of a father. You are robbing. If you intentionally get pregnant by a man, by just any random man, just because you want a kid, you are robbing that kid of a father. It's selfish, man. Think of the child. But anyway, uh, the other side says, I'm going to stop adding comments to the chat because whatever I speak into my cell phone mic comes out wrong, making me seem very dumb. Noted. Yeah, you can just type. That's fine. Browsing around says, if you're growing up in a poor neighborhood, you're more exposed to dangerous circumstances. A lot of areas are dangerous because it's a poor area. Makes sense. There's more likely to be crime in those areas because people are broke. I understand. It's unfortunate. But people, if you're in those situations, don't have children. Don't bring them into that poor situation, please. If you can't get yourselves out, you know, it's inconsiderate. Caleb Kerr says, yes, parents. Yeah, yes, parents often do have a God complex, especially the religious ones who compare their relationship with their children to humanity's relationship with God, obedience to God's will. Right. And I'm going to do a live stream on that, after this live stream. Not right away, but maybe tomorrow. Yeah, parents, many, if not most, if not all parents have a God complex. Actually, I'm gonna say most. Many, if not most. Many, if not most. Tom Deach says no one have the right to have kids. Unfortunately, people do, but should people be doing it? Well, think about it. No one has the possibility to consent to exist. All right? It's literally impossible for one to exist. Like, it is impossible for one to consent to existing. So ask yourself, is it worth unnecessarily creating a life into this world when it is impossible for them to consent to existence? Remember, it's a gamble. If you have a child, you cannot guarantee how their life will turn out. And let's say that they are not content with life and they want out. What are you going to tell them? To suck it up? No. That doesn't work for everyone. At some point, the only other The only option is euthanasia, unfortunately. Which sounds, yeah, it's sad that it would even have to come to that. Tom Deach says, hold on, I'm gonna look up your last name so I can pronounce it correctly. I'll do it later. Oh, it's Deitch. Wait. Yeah. Basically Deitch, isn't it? Anyway. Tom Deitch. Okay. So yeah, Tom Deitch says the poor are just extra evil. If they choose to bring a child into this world in poverty, then yeah, they are. They are. At least that action is evil, yeah. Extra evil. Calum Kerr says the same God who said, "Be fruitful and multiply," later regretted his creations and murdered most of them via a flood. The Bible is not to be taken seriously. Mm. There are a lot of people. There are a lot of things I've heard that came out of the Bible that I think I can't believe people are taking it seriously. There are a lot of things that come out of the Bible that make me think, wow, this shit is nonsensical. I want to know the consensus, people. Every single person watching. Should poor people have children? If you are someone who thinks that a poor person or poor people should have children, I want to hear your justification as to why poor people should have children. By the way, if anyone wants to come up, the link is in the live chat right here. So just click on this link and it will lead you to my panel, basically. You can just hop on the panel. What else can I say? My stance is poor people shouldn't have children. I mean, no one, should have children, like rich or poor, it doesn't matter. But especially poor people, because poor people can't afford. It's irresponsible. They don't have enough money to take care of their children. They can't afford to have children. It's irresponsible and it's inconsiderate. Not that I advocate for having children, but if you're going to have children, at least be financially stable. Be financially stable. Have enough money to the point where you can afford to have children. Hmm. Ready to Explosivo says, "Man, I thought you quit YouTube. Nice to see you again. And no, they shouldn't. They definitely shouldn't." Yeah, I didn't quit YouTube, but yeah, here I am this whole time. Maybe I just haven't posted in a while. That's probably why you thought I quit YouTube. But yeah, I agree. They definitely shouldn't. Uh, Shatom56 says, "Can't go by me. I think no sentient being should give birth." Understandable. Understandable. And welcome. Browsing around says, the Bible says, honor your father and mother, but what if your parents are evil and they just had already knowing that you'll suffer, especially poor parents? How could these poor parents not realize? Mm. I'll read it again. I'll read it again. Browsing around says, the Bible says, honor your father and mother, but what if your parents are evil and they just had already knowing that you'll suffer, especially poor parents? How could those poor parents not realize? Hmm. Ready to Explosivo says, not enough to be financially stable these days. The world is too unpredictable. If I'm gonna act like I'm not antinatalist for a sec, I'd say you need minimum net worth of 10 to 15 million pounds before you breed. I see. Okay, okay. Noted. 10 to 15 million. Whew, that is a lot. But understandable. Understandable. So ready to explosivo. I take it that you agree that poor parents shouldn't have children. You agree with that? That's what I assume based on this comment. I see there are more people joining. Yeah, if comment below, should poor parents, should poor people have children? Browsing around says, sorry, I meant to say, what if your parents had you already knowing that you will suffer, especially if they're poor parents? Then they're evil. They're evil. To anyone who has been abused by their parents, don't then have children just to make them suffer just because you suffered at the hands of your parents. Please get therapy instead. Please. Because there are too many people having this mindset that, oh, I was abused, or I was made to suffer by my parents, so I'm going to do the same thing to my children. Please don't do that. Do not do that. All right? Clearly, you are broken. Clearly, you need healing, right? Don't pass that on. Don't pass that on to your offspring. Break the cycle. Yeah, just break the cycle, literally. Ready to Explosivo says, I'd say that nobody should breed as an antinatalist, but people won't listen to that. So, at minimum, anything less than the firmly upper class shouldn't breed. You need to be rich to have an insurance policy. I mean, if I was going to say a minimum, I would say, if I was going to say minimum, and this isn't fixed, but right until further notice, I would say that you would have to be basically upper class. Yeah. Like really, yeah, no, but yeah, we pretty much agree. Basically what you said. What was I doing? Firmly upper class. Shouldn't be. Yeah. Anything less, yeah. Fair enough. Just the cosmic says, how poor are we talking here? Um, well, poor is poor, and basically, you can't even afford to take care of yourself. Like, so poor, you can't even afford to take care of yourself. I hope that answers your question. Just the cosmic says, then no. There we go. There we go. Browsing around says, it's true. A lot of parents have kids because they want their kids to suffer like they did. And that is disgustingly selfish of these parents. I 1000% agree. Yeah. I, I think it's disgusting. Oh, God. If there's one thing I cannot stand, is someone who has suffered because of their parents, and so now they're having children so that they can make those children suffer or go through suffering. Crab in a barrel mentality, crab in a bucket mentality. No, end, break the cycle, get healing, you know, via therapy. Just get some help. Live your best life instead. Ready to Explosivo says, when you think about it, in the Western world, we are all rich in the context of the world, and yet we are suffering, which is why you need to be the top 1%. I understand what you're saying. I mean, in terms of like advanced infrastructure, yeah. Does anyone want to come up and, chill, voice, say some things, or say nothing at all? That's also fine. I don't mind. By the way, to anyone who is watching me but has anxiety or feels nervous to come up, let me help you out. Think of my panel like you're going to a friend's house and you're just chilling on the sofa, and you feel absolutely no pressure to say anything. You just speak when you feel like speaking. That's how my panel is. Don't think of my panel as me putting you on the spot. Never feel like I'm putting you on the spot. Like, this isn't a late night show where I'm asking you questions on the spot and you have to answer them right away. Like, nah. And we got someone back. Hey, Display, how are you, man?
Hello,
Hello.
can you hear me?
I can hear you, man.
All right,
How are you?
how are you doing? Uh, yeah,
By the
I'm
way,
good.
by the way, between me and you, welcome back, man.
Yeah,
Yeah. But I assume you saw the, you know,
The what?
The community post.
Which community? Because I didn't see the community. I don't know what.
Anyway, so yeah, how have you been?
I've been alright. I've been good. Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, like in the context of well, I mean, in the context of life, we're all suffering. So
Mm.
it's like, but
Display,
like the
display,
general
display,
consensus.
display, display. If you don't mind, could you take off your Bluetooth or something? I don't know, because your audio isn't that clear.
Okay, is it better now?
Much, much better. Significantly better.
Okay. All right.
Ooh.
I see.
Okay, do me a favor. Display, say the phrase "get to the Chamber of Secrets."
Get to the Chamber of Secrets. What?
No. It's a thing I do on my live stream, like as a check, an audio check. You know what I mean?
Oh, get to the Chamber of Secrets. Okay.
Okay, say it one more time, please.
Get to the Chamber of Secrets.
Do me a favor, leave and then come back, please. If are you
All
okay
right.
with that? All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, just a heads up, people. When I do an audio check, I always ask people to say the phrase "get to the Chamber of Secrets" like a couple of times. You know? Head in the Clouds says this is a sidebar, but why don't government incentives people to adopt over breeding newborns? Because then there will be less people. This world wants to encourage people to produce more slaves. More slaves means more money. Money. Anyway. It's all about the money. No, I'm joking. Head in the Cloud says, preach, break the cycle. Indeed, yeah, break the cycle. Browsing around says, what's so sad is that the cost of living keeps going up. So why would anyone want to bring children here? Especially poor people. Yeah, key term, especially poor people. People, yeah, it's just wow. Poor, don't complain. Don't have children and then complain about your children using the electricity or using your shower or whatever. You put them in that home. What were you expecting? Of course, if you create children and put them in your home, of course they're going to be using electricity. Of course they're going to be using the utilities in your home that you forced them in. Of course. If you don't want someone using your utilities, don't create them and put them in that position in the first place. It doesn't make sense. Wake up, people. Please. Anyway. Slave, how are you, man?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, sorry about the audio issue last time.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Okay, do me a favor. Say, get to the Chamber of Secrets.
Oh, wait, but wasn't that what you told me to say last time, though?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I don't know if you've been following. Oh no. Okay, so basically, I tell people on my panel to say the phrase "get to the Chamber of Secrets." It's a thing I do as an audio check.
Oh, okay. But
So,
I'll say it.
Okay, yes.
I'll get to the Chamber of Secrets.
And say it one more time, please. Oh no.
Uh,
Oh no. I can hear the echo again, dude.
oh, I see.
Why do you think that's happening?
I'm not sure, but maybe it could be like an audio setting. Maybe I'm not really sure.
Do you have? Oh boy. Do you have YouTube in the background? Do you have the YouTube app open?
Let me check. Just let me
Okay.
check really quick.
No
But
problem.
like I'm just gonna mute really quick. Like if you hear the echo, because like I just don't want to have that happen. You know, I'll just mute and check really quick. Yeah.
No problem. No
Oh.
problem. That's
Yeah.
Hey, display. Welcome back, man.
All right.
All right. So do me a favor. Say "Get to the Chamber of Secrets," please.
Get to the Chamber of Secrets.
And one more time, please.
Get to the Chamber of Secrets.
Perfect. Your audio is fine.
Yeah, I switched devices.
Oh, what? What? No offense. Whatever that other device was, yeah, I'm sorry, it just wasn't it. But this one's
it's- it
perfect.
was- I don't know. The thing is with my phone is like when I'm doing a call, like a regular WhatsApp call or a phone call, it's fine. But I don't know, when it comes to StreamYard, even back then, it would always suck. So I would have to switch to something else.
You can say prefer not to say, but what device did you switch from?
I switched from my phone, and now I'm using an iPad.
Oh, okay. So, you learn something new every day. So apparently the iPad has better audio. All right.
At least
Oh,
on
it
StreamYard.
is Oh, sorry. I didn't want to interrupt you guys, but like, TP, did you notice like anything? Is it still going on though? Yeah, I
Okay,
did
you want
have
me-
YouTube in the background. I did.
Okay. So did you get rid of it?
Yeah, I did get rid of it. Yeah.
Okay. So you know what? That's probably why. No, not probably. That is why. So when you have YouTube playing in the background, or YouTube in the background, then that's going to cause an. Wait a minute. Okay, wait. Hold on a second. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's gone. All right, cool. Yeah, if people have YouTube in the background, that's going to cause an echo. Anyway, the more you know.
Yeah.
All right. So, display, since you were here first earlier, let me ask you this: should poor people have children?
Definitely not. I mean, when you think about it, I would say that obviously it's not like an absolute, right? But if we're being like, because the thing is the general like narrative of society will say like, oh, even if you're poor, your love will make up for it and all that crap. But
which is absolute bullshit. But go on.
Yeah, but being honest, like at least with my case, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I mean, I'm not poor, but at the same time, the majority of my suffering comes from not being rich right now. So like, if I was just born into a rich family, like extremely rich, like obviously it would still be worse than not being born. I'm not saying that means I would love it, but at the same time, like it's just so frustrating. You have to go to work, you have to go to school, you have to go to public school, you have to go to this school, you have to get a degree, every time you have to think about the price when you go to the shop. You have to think, oh, even for simple shit like, oh, is this toothpaste too expensive if I buy like 2 of these? Like
Right.
you have
The
to
overthinking.
you have to budget. You have to think
constant
about
worry.
rent. You have to
Yeah.
think about rent. You have to budget. You have to do so much shit when you just don't have like a money glitch, like an unlimited money glitch. Like you have to just think about so much crap that just stresses you out. Like when you have just having to think about finances is just a major stress. Like and to be honest, like having that all alleviated by being born into a family that says, oh yeah, you want a car, I buy it. If you wanna rent this flat, I'll buy it. I'll rent it. If you wanna go to this holiday, go, without thinking about a fucking thing other than that.
Mhm.
Like that takes so much stress away from life. I'm not gonna lie.
That's the con of being poor, is that, the con is constantly having to worry about how much money you're spending. That's the thing. We have to constantly having to calculate, how much does this cost? How much does that cost? It's always, in short, you're always worrying about how much you're spending. You're always hyper conscious of that, and rich people don't really have to worry about that,
Exactly.
So-
And you just feel like such a pauper, going into your wage slave job, or I don't
Right.
know, when you want to book a flight somewhere, maybe you want to go on a holiday somewhere and you have to like book a freaking Ryanair, some cheap fucking shit on economy, while other guys are just stroll into business class without thinking about it. I just feel so I'm not jealous, but like just it's just unfair. And then I just be thinking, okay, and then most people will say the narrative, the general narrative be like, oh, don't blame your parents. You go out, get a job, be rich, blah blah blah, if you want all that crap. But at the same time, it's like I didn't ask to come here. So it's like why shouldn't I be allowed to blame people who were not prepared enough before they brought me into the world? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Why should I feel bad? Why should I feel bad about that? You know what I mean? Why should I feel like I'm the cunt? Now they want to make you look like the cunt. You know what I
Right,
mean?
they
Like,
want to
you're the prick.
gaslight you.
Yeah, exactly. You're the prick now. Now you're the prick. Like, oh, your poor mother or your poor father, they struggle working this job just to put food on the table for you, and now you're not appreciative. You want to live like the rich boys, so you're an asshole. But it's like, come on, man. I didn't ask to be here. I didn't ask to be born into this family. I didn't ask for my situation in life. I didn't ask for any of it. And now I'm supposed to appreciate every meal on the table. And
Don't listen to that nonsense, Display. Don't listen to that nonsense, because guess what? At the end of the day, those parents, right, rich or poor, but in this case, poor, right? They had children for selfish reasons. They had children for their sake, not for your sake. They had children for their sake, not for the children's sake. So you have every right to complain. Like, you have every right to say, like, if someone tries to say, oh, be grateful because they sacrificed everything, the parents didn't need to sacrifice to begin with.
exactly. Who asked? I definitely was not in the womb or in the realm of non-existence saying, I wish I had parents to sacrifice for me. I definitely never asked for anyone to sacrifice for me, like, before I was born. Okay, it's only after I'm born now I need someone to help me out. But it's like, before I was born, I never asked for anyone to and it preferably, I would prefer if you didn't sacrifice for me and you just never had me in the first place. Like, you don't need to sacrifice for me. You could have just not had me in the first place. And
Yeah,
it's like,
but they chose to.
they chose to for their own self. And it doesn't matter whether you're the poorest parent in the world or the richest one. As you said, it's
Yes.
always for selfish reasons. So at the end of the day, you made the selfish act. I think there was a word that I called it filial piety. That's a good word. It's
Filial
like
what?
filial, like filial, 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 like filial piety, where like you're supposed to. It basically means like that idea in the modern, like in the general narrative, not modern narrative because it's always been there. But the
Wait,
general narrative,
spell the last part. Filial piety. What?
piety, like PI, yeah,
Yeah.
ETY, filial piety. Maybe I should type it. Wait, how do I
No,
type it?
I'm typing it right now. Hang on. Filial piety is a okay. It's a okay.
It's like basically it's from like it was like it comes from Confucianism. I don't know. It's like but it's basically because the Chinese Confucian religion, right? They have this
No.
thing called filial piety, which basically describe, you don't have to be part of their religion to understand, but even if you're not part of the religion, everyone does this. Like, it's basically like that honoring your parents, right? Honoring your parents, right? Providing for them in old age and continuing the family line. Basically, you appreciate your parents for what they did for you, and you aim to continue. You aim to basically try and do the best you can to take care of them, and also, you know, continue their bloodline as they would want grandchildren. And that's like the general narrative in society. Is like you're supposed to honor your parents for, you know, every bit of money they spend on you, every time they, I don't know, you were sick and they, you know, like brought you to hospital, or every time I don't know, you needed some clothes, or, you know, just every little thing. You know, you're supposed to be proud. You know, you're supposed to like, oh, I love my parents for doing this for me. Some shit like
Okay.
and if
yeah,
you
no.
don't, and if you don't do it, you're a prick.
Or an ungrateful bastard. Like, come on. At the end of the day, the bottom line is this: parents, right, rich or poor, but especially poor, when you create children into this world, they owe you absolutely nothing. I'm not saying they should be assholes to you. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, don't have this God complex, which I will be talking about in a future stream, but don't have this God complex like your children owe you. When you chose to have children, that was for yourself, right? You had children for your own selfish pleasures. You're not. My point is, when you choose to create children into this world, you're not. Hold on a second. Anyway, what I'm saying is, parents, right? When you choose to create children into this world, do not have this mindset that you creating them into this world is doing those children a favor. You're not doing them a favor. You are doing yourself a favor. You gifted yourself children, right? Just remember that. Because I'm sick and tired of parents having this mindset that their children owe them. No, you can't force someone into this world and then think that they owe you. That means that you have created. What is going on in the background display?
Sorry, I was just moving my devices around.
Do me a favor, just mute yourself, please. Okay, thank you. As I was saying,
Yeah,
I'm
I think.
sick and tired.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say maybe like be muted just in case. Like,
Slave. Your
play
mic
background
is
noise.
your mic is acting up again, dude. Is YouTube? Do you have YouTube in the
Wait,
background?
was it? No. I just joined back though.
It just sounds fuzzy.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, it sounds really bad.
Yeah, respectfully.
Respectfully, I mean, it's not his fault. I'm just saying. You have to be
Yeah,
honest.
no, of course.
I could.
I was clarifying
Well, I
to
mean,
Slave. Go on, Slave.
Well, I mean, would it work if I stay muted? Like what if I just stay muted until I have something to say? Because I,
mean,
think
you
if
sound
I
fine now.
yeah
Actually,
yeah
yeah,
because you know
it gets
because
bad
like
and
oh sorry but yeah because like I was gonna say like last time it was echoing, right? Like last time it was echoing and stuff. I mean, but I noticed like I actually watched I rewatched the stream or the last stream. I noticed like when I was talking it didn't echo as much, but like when I was silent it echoed for some reason. But that's not me making like an excuse for it or anything.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
It's just an explanation. Uh-oh.
oh shit.
Yeah. Hey, Slave. Do you have YouTube in the background?
I don't think I do.
Can you check, please?
All right. Wait, do I like how do I check basically? Because like I clicked on my screen screen saves and I didn't see it. It was there last time, but
Are you using your phone right now?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like last time.
So do you know how to okay. You know when an app is running, right, in the background, right?
Yeah.
You wanna swipe away that app so that it's no longer running in the background. Have you done that before?
Yeah, I did. Wait, is that like are you saying like if it was like a background picture, right? Like running as a background picture.
I'm not necessarily talking about a picture. Okay. I tell you
Or
what.
like,
Do me a favor, slave. Do me. I say this respectfully. All right. Just in the meantime, because I want to talk with display, and this isn't working out so far. Just go on Google or something and just look up how to fix my audio on StreamYard or something.
ChatGPT search it.
Yeah, or Chat GPT or whatever, because I am doing a live stream and this isn't working out so far. So I do wish you luck. Looking for that info. Just go on Google or YouTube or Chat GPT as a display
all
set
right,
and just
all right then.
on info on how to fix your audio.
Okay.
All right, man.
Yeah,
All
I
the best.
can. All right.
Bye.
But wait, is it echoing right now though? Like, is it
It's
or
not
did it
echoing
stop?
right now, but it's coming in and out. So yeah,
Oh,
I do wish you luck, man. All the best.
okay.
Au
What
revoir.
if but what if like I keep it muted? Like, would that work? Like until
Just honestly, you're better off just finding out. Yeah, if you have to keep it muted, that's still a problem. Like you're better off just finding what the issue is. So,
yeah,
yeah, man.
yeah.
It's not gonna work right now, but yeah, just
Okay.
go do your research on Google or YouTube or Chat GPT, and yeah, man. I wish you all the best, man. Come back
All
next
right.
time. Au revoir.
I'll try to fix it though. So
No problem. Au revoir. Okay. Anyway, yeah. I'm glad he understands. Let me read some comments. Oh, I think I read this one. I'll read it again anyway. Browsing around says, what's so sad is that the cost of living keeps going up. So why would anyone want to bring children here, especially poor people? Exactly. It makes no sense. It's just pure selfishness, man. It's just, I'm not even saying that out of spite. I'm saying that because it's just the truth. Just the Cosmic says, if I was poor, I could donate my sperm for non-poor people to have children. You could do that, but you also don't have to. Yeah. I could, you know what? Like, and whether I'm an antinatalist or not, I could never donate my sperm to anyone else. My sperm is priceless. You know what's funny? I said my sperm is priceless, and fireworks just popped out, outside by my window. Did you hear this?
Well,
Did you hear the fireworks in my background?
the non-existent God is giving you a sign.
Yeah. But yeah, you really just do you just my opinion, you don't, you really don't have to do that. Anyway, just are you new to my channel by any chance? Please let me know. Now I get it. Says poor people have kids so they can get help, be it hoping their kids find a way to make more money or to have someone help take care of them once they get old. So here's the thing. If they can't help themselves, why would they have this expectation? Oh, that's really, really selfish. So you're poor and you have children so that those children can get you, the parent, out of that poor situation. If you are of that mindset, don't charge your children rent because you want to teach them responsibility when you literally are having kids because you think they will get you out of your poor situation. No way. And let's see. To have someone help take care of them once they get old. Here's the thing. Let's call a spade, right? And if it doesn't apply, let it fly. A lot of parents are narcissists or toxic. So there is no guarantee that when you have children, they're going to want to talk to you as they get older. There is no guarantee that they're gonna take care of you. You
And
know?
to be honest, even in this modern day and age, like even a lot of kids who like their parents and blah blah blah, even then, like as their parents are getting older, like I know a lot of people who like because of the cost of living is going up so much, they don't have time to take care of no one's parents, take care of their parents like this. They're just struggling to get by themselves. They literally do not have the time or place to take care of their parents as they get old. Like they literally are just grinding for themselves. Like, and they don't even hate their parents or anything. Like they would, but they don't because they can't. You know what
Can
I
I
mean?
be honest with you? Can I be honest with you? Yeah, you're absolutely right. They may not have the time, but they shouldn't feel guilt tripped. You know, like
Yeah, no. I'm not saying they should feel
no, I'm not
guilty.
saying you're saying that. I'm not saying you're saying that. I'm making this statement just regardless. I'm saying that just you and to the audience, people who are brought into this world, who are created into this world and just living their own lives, right? They don't owe their parents anything. I'm not saying they should be an asshole to their parents. That doesn't, me saying that they don't owe their parents doesn't mean I'm being an asshole. No. I'm just saying they don't owe their parents, right? If they have their own lives to live, it is what it is. You know, they never asked to be a part of this world. Why should they be obligated to look after their parents in old age? They can just be in a nursing home. Those parents can just be in a nursing home. You know, they'll still get care. So it would actually be selfish to expect your children to take care of you in old age, basically not allowing them to live their own lives. Would you agree or disagree?
And to think about it, if you account for how much money people spend on their children, you could probably like assuming you don't have any children, you could and you save that money, you could probably get pretty good pastoral care. Like you could pay for some decent pastoral care for yourself and just be at home, you know, like you can get someone to take care of you basically. Like you wouldn't need to have a kid to take care of you because someone else could take care of you. You could pay for like some assistant to take care of you, you know what I mean?
But
Like,
the thing is, but the thing is, right, with old people, like super duper old people who are poor, what are they going to do? You know what I mean?
well, definitely that doesn't excuse them having a kid either way. Like,
Oh
even
no,
if
I
you
understand.
stage, I mean, I was thinking of like mainly middle class people. But yeah, if you're old, okay, let's just say old people from, let's just say the poorest of the poor. So let's say you're old, you're broke, and you're from a third world country now, right? Now obviously obviously you're kind of like I won't lie, like okay, fine, without a kid you're kind of cooked because it's like what are you going to do because no one else cares about you and you have no money. But at the same time it's like, what do you call it, like you see the thing is like back in the day, right, like 200, 300 years ago, you know, the life expectancy in these places all over the world would be so low that people wouldn't really have to think about, even if they were born into poor environments, about, oh, who's going to take care of me when I'm old, because they would just die by the age of 40, right? So they would still have healthy bodies relatively by the time they die, so they wouldn't need anyone to take care of them and when they're gray and they're wrinkly, you know what I mean? But because of modern medicine, this is actually creating this kind of dynamic of people thinking who's going to take care of me when I get old in general. So it's really, I don't know, like it's really being born out of this, like, and I'm not saying people dying earlier is better, but it's being born out of this like artificial like extension of life basically, with modern medicine. And so like I would say for those people, if you are genuinely like really poor like that, I would say that, well, like it's a tough thing to say, but really that still doesn't excuse you from having a kid. Like you just kind of have to suffer through it, because at the end of the day, like for that moment of relief, like the alternative would be to have a child and now you're in poverty, you know what I mean? And when you think about all the suffering that child is going to go through just so you have this relief of having someone to take care of you when you're old because you can't afford care. It just doesn't add up. So
Well said. Just the Cosmic says, do you get more welfare depending on how many children you have? Yes.
but the UK government actually, I'm pretty sure a lot of Western governments are actually blocking that. Like they say up to like, because there'll be cases of people with like 9 kids and stuff. They said like after like, because I know in the UK after you have like 3 kids or something like that, you stop getting extra or something like that. Like they stop giving you extra after you have after a certain number of kids.
Mm.
They start giving you extra benefits.
Like there's a cap, basically.
Yeah, there's a cap. Yeah, the benefits cap. Yeah, they started with the austerity measures. They started the benefits cap. Like after like 3 kids, you don't get any more money.
So I hope that answers your question, Jester. Calum Kerr says, many pessimists rightfulness complain about the struggles of modern society, but I wonder how many of us would feel about the alternative, living in a state of nature, pre-human civilization. I'd rather just not exist.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, basically.
I don't want to go live in nature. I don't want to go live in the woods and get a tent. I just want to stop it. No, not stop, but I would just rather not be born. You know what I mean? Like you gotta suffer through something either way, but you know.
And you're not crazy for saying that, Display. You're not crazy for saying that. You have every right to say that particular phrase that, hey, you didn't ask to exist. Let me tell you something. People who get annoyed by that phrase, I didn't ask to exist, something's wrong with you, right? Just because that phrase annoys you. In other words, just because you can't handle the truth doesn't mean it doesn't invalidate the truth. Doesn't invalidate the truth, all right? Yeah, it's true. No one asked to exist. If you are annoyed by that phrase, something is wrong with you and you need help. All right? Accept the reality. It is true. It's a fact you can't run away from. How dare you people, man? What are your thoughts on that, Display, when people get annoyed by that phrase, I didn't ask to exist, as if it's not a valid statement?
Well, you know,
they can't handle the truth.
Just think that it's like,
but go on.
Most of people will be like, oh, most of people equate it to like, oh, you're just being a cringe little teenager. You know, they equate it to immaturity, basically. Like you don't know enough about life, and that's why you're saying this shit. You know,
there's nothing more immature. There is nothing more immature than creating someone into existence because otherwise you would feel miserable. There's nothing more immature.
Have your little baby doll. You know, it's like the way the kids
literally.
You know, when a little kid gets a doll, when a little girl, you now you got your little baby doll you go play with at the age of 35. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's literally parents are treating their children like metaphorically like dolls. Literally, they're a lot of parents have children because they want to play house. You know, they were bored, so they chose to have children because they want to play house. It's literally just like that analogy you gave with, you know, children playing with dolls. Those children are the dolls to the parents. It's the truth, people.
Yeah, you're just a doll. You know, they give you a little. You know, they give you your name. They try and mold your story. You know, just the same way you take a doll, you make it like the little girl will make the doll play, like sip some tea or something like that, or I don't know, go to the friend's house of another doll. That's what parents do. You know, you just basically do that, and then as soon as the kid gets some autonomy and he's like, I don't want to be treated like a doll. It's like, what? How are you being so disrespectful? I'm just teaching you right from wrong. I'm teaching you how to live your life. I'm teaching you this. I'm teaching you that. I'm guiding you. I'm the parent. I'm older. I know more. I'm guiding you. Why are you being so stupid? And I'm just like, shut up, man.
I want to say something. To anyone who is planning to become a parent, I have news for you. When you are a parent and you don't guilt trip your children and you don't have a god complex and you're basically a humble parent, right? I've got news for you. It is very likely that your children will love you and they will want to go out of their way to do things for you naturally, of their own accord, you know? That's a lot better. So if you want your children to love you, don't ever have a god complex. Don't try to guilt trip them, by telling them that you put clothes on their back or basically just the basic necessities, the bare minimum as a parent. Don't do that. I've noticed that people say that are narcissists, like parents who say that shit. Oh, I put clothes on your back. I gave you food. I put a roof over your head. They are narcissists. Go on.
And it gets worse. It gets worse when there's obviously that's bad enough when there's they give the bare minimum, but when there's something, when they give a bit above the bare minimum, I don't know, they'll think, oh, look at all the times you wanted a nice pair of Nike shoes and I got them for you, or look at all the times, remember all the times I took you on holiday, or remember when you wanted to join that football club after school and I paid for your training, and all my days. Then it gets really mad. We talk about shit that's non-essential. Oh my days! Then it really get you literally asked for this. I didn't even have to give it to you. It's not even essential for your survival, and I still did it because I'm that nice. You know what I mean? I'm that nice to you. You know what I mean? Oh my days! You wanted to go. You wanted to go on a school trip with your friends. You know what I mean? It was £300. I paid that whole £300. I didn't have to pay shit. Or some shit like that. You know what I mean?
They're really, if they give their children, a non-essential item, and they follow it up with making those guilt-tripping statements, they're basically ruining the present. They're ruining the present because of the guilt-tripping. They're ruining it. Hang on. Anyway, just hold on a second. Oh, Calum curses rightfully complain is what I meant to say. Noted. Now I get it. Says Calum, I think those that complain about modern society don't like the class system. They're rich, so they don't have to work as hard as me. Not fair. The alternative is village life, right? Calum Kerr says, now I get it. Villages, perhaps, but more so hunter-gatherer type communities and tribes.
I mean, we all got this I'd say we all got these existential crises, there's a lot of mental and existential crises that come when you have your needs of survival met. You know what I mean? You talk about people in the Western world, in first world countries, obviously there's exceptions, but as a general rule, right, most people have everything they need to survive handed to them, right, pretty easily to get, right? So in that sense, we become rich in comparison to most of the world, which is under $10 a day right now. That leads to a lot of the mental health crisis and depression, because it's once you have your needs of survival met, you actually develop a new kind of suffering, which isn't immediately in the physical, but it's more like existential suffering. You're wondering, why am I here? What is this? You worry about different new shit. Instead of worrying about, oh, where's my next meal you're gonna come from, you worry about, oh my days, how am I gonna fight this bully at school? Or you worry about, oh my days, how am I going to, what if my wife divorces me or cheats on me? Or you worry about, my friends all got the latest PlayStation 2 and I haven't got it, and now I'm just the loser.
The PlayStation 2.
I was just making an
I
example.
know it's an
Obviously-
example that. Oh, we're going way back.
I mean, like,
I
I was just thinking about a childhood thought, you know, like, oh, my parents
know.
the latest PlayStation 3. You know, back when you're at school, yeah, when you have when everyone else has the PS3 and you don't have it, you do feel like a chump. Like I got like, so it's like everyone else has the latest.
Because
video.
it's because other people make you feel like a chump. It was never
Yeah,
an issue
I know.
until other people brought it up. Yeah.
Exactly. You really feel like a chump, you know what I mean? And like
Yeah.
so it's like, so obviously you're still rich relative to the rest of the world because you're in a first world country, you have your needs met, right? But at the same time, your suffering, it doesn't mean your suffering is fake, or like your suffering isn't real suffering,
Or is invalid. Like
or
it's
is
absolutely
invalid, yeah.
valid, you know?
or is invalid, or like, oh, like, you know, like you come home with a bad report card, you know, your parents are going to fucking shout at you and scream at you and maybe even physically abuse you because of how bad you did in school. And you know, people be like, oh, but at least you're in a first world country, bro, you could, some people don't even go to school, blah blah blah. But like your suffering is still valid, but I'm saying it's just a different type of suffering. So even once you have those needs met, even once you become in the top, let's say 10%, let's say if you're in the Western world, you're in the top 10% of the global population, you still go through all this other suffering that's not related to your survival. You know what I mean? It's not like suffering is just so built into the human experience that you just not avoiding it. Like you're just not avoiding this shit. Like
So-
it's actually
So
unavoidable.
with that being said, Display, just because someone else is suffering worse than you doesn't mean that you can't complain about the suffering you endure.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely. There's always going to be someone worse than you. I mean, obviously, there's some people who are at the bottom of the whole of humanity, but there's always going to be someone worse than. But does that mean that you've never suffered? Does that mean that, you know, that's what they always want to do this shit. Like they always want to just show you the worst examples of the worst human suffering in the world in freaking, I don't know, India or Africa or Brazil.
Yeah, because they want to dismiss you. They want to silence you.
Dismiss you. They want to dismiss everything you've been through. They want to make you feel like you should be grateful. They want to make you feel like stop being a bad kid.
And it's
Shut
evil.
up. Yeah, exactly. It is evil. It's just wrong. It's wrong.
How is it helpful to dismiss someone's suffering just because someone else is suffering worse? You're deflecting by doing that. How are we supposed to help people if we keep deflecting, attention away from the main person speaking? You know,
Really,
if someone
really,
says
you
I'm
don't-
suffering, how
you just want
and
them
you're
to-
deflecting somewhere else. How is that helpful? How are we going to fix problems if we keep deflecting away from the problem?
I mean, you don't even want to help. You just want them to shut up. So
Exactly, and it's selfish. Like, just go away if you don't want to listen, or if you don't care, just go away.
exactly, and this
It's that
is
simple.
and this is and not only that, they'll and like if they don't have something in front of your face to show you, they'll always talk about, and parents love to talk about this, about, you know, how hard it was back in my day, and blah blah blah, you know, like how broke we were at times back in my day growing up, and now you got the latest computer, you got this PlayStation 5, you got this.
I used to work.
bullshit.
I used to walk 10 hours to school.
Yeah, I used to do this. I did, like, at my age, at the age of 22, I was already living at home, living on my own, like everything, you know, I was doing everything for myself, and I was surviving, you know what I mean? Like I had it way worse at the same age than you do, you know what I mean?
I
Like,
built my own house at the age of 10
yeah,
with
exactly.
with nothing but
with my bare
nothing
hands.
but yeah. I fought ninjas on my way to school for 10 hours. Oh my god. Anyway, yeah, they are memes about that.
Yeah, exactly. And then obviously when if that doesn't work, then they'll use the magical, you know, final trump card, which is religion, which is listen, God has blessed you, you know, God is this, God is that, God says don't, you know, it's the final tool of the brainwashing. You know, if you're not going to listen to whatever the fuck I'm going to say, I'm going to teach you this Bible, you're going to listen to what this God says, or I'm going to teach you the Quran or whatever, and you're going to listen to what this God says, because clearly whatever I'm saying is you're not listening to me, so you're going to listen to Allah. You know what I mean? So
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Give me a moment. Black Hole says PlayStation 2, only one I ever played. Okay, so you haven't touched a PS3, 4, or 5? Interesting.
I'm actually the same. I switched to Xbox 360 after PS2, and I have never used. Well, I've played it. I've played on a newer PlayStation, but I've never owned one. Yeah.
You wait. So what? Tell me all the consoles you've owned.
Well, okay, I've owned PlayStation 2, Xbox 360, Xbox One, the new Xbox Series X. I've owned Nintendo, you know, like all the consoles like the Wii, the Switch. I had the Wii U. I had the handheld, the Nintendo DSs and stuff, the DSi.
Okay.
The I
So,
own like pretty
so
much
why
all
are
of
you more loyal to Xbox over PlayStation? Huh? Explain yourself.
I just like the way that I just like it's not really loyalty in the sense that like I really care about it. I just like the way the Xbox controller feels better in my hand, mainly. That's like the main thing. Like PlayStation controllers just feel weird to me in my hand, but Xbox controller feel very nice, very nice in my hand. So like I just prefer X. That's it's not really like I'm a fanboy or anything like that, but that's just the main. If I had to think of one main reason why I own an Xbox over a PlayStation, that is it. The controller done. That's the only reason. I'm not the only reason, but the main 100% the main reason.
Either way, the good thing is that it doesn't matter which console you get, you can cross-play. So, yeah, there you go. Nonetheless, Black Hole says, "This is real stuff, bro. You really do reach into listeners' head and provoke thoughts over real issues. Bravo, Black Hole. Thank you very much for this comment. I do appreciate it. I really do. By the way, to anyone who's watching who is brand new, please subscribe to my channel if you like this live stream or my other videos. And also, if you're not interested in my channel, then please subscribe as well. All right, thank you. Calum Kerr says David Benatar has pointed out the error of comparisons to determine the quality of our lives. Therefore, thinking it's better to be brought into existence. It's flawed reasoning. David.
Oh yeah, how many times have you heard people say like, oh, you know, like I'm gonna bring my kid into existence and it's fine because you know, like it's not like I'm one of those idiots who are in like a third world country bringing a kid into existence and they have they're starving. So you know, like at least I'm gonna bring my kid into a life that's guaranteed to be good because it's better in comparison to theirs. So like yeah,
I hate that shit. Well, at least it's not as bad as this. Like that's not a justification to create a child into existence because it won't be as bad. What kind of mindset is that? You want you should want the best for your child. You shouldn't be You shouldn't be like, "Oh, let me, you know, have a child so that they can experience a slightly above bad life."
Yeah, exactly.
Slightly above poor life. No.
So yeah, and yeah, David Benatar actually said that like it doesn't matter how little your suffering was in life. The fact that you have suffering in life means that it's better for you not to have been born. So
Literally.
Even if you had the perfect, privileged so-called childhood, no bullying, no trauma, no nothing, you had food, you had everything. You just basically live the ideal life that most people would be envious of. The fact that you still go through suffering, I mean, it's guaranteed because obviously one day your family's gonna die, you're gonna suffer and die. So, like, let's not like obviously everyone's guaranteed suffering, and obviously even then in your ideal life there's gonna be suffering as well. But even then, if you take into account the ideal life, it would still be better that you weren't born, basically.
Let's see. 88X. Oh, long time. I'd rather PlayStation. You see this guy 88X. you can learn a lot from him.
I knew it. I was
Uh,
just waiting for. I was waiting for the.
yeah.
What do you call it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no, fair enough, fair enough. I'm not gonna go too far into like, because I don't really care. I'm willing to, like, if someone says, "Oh, PlayStation is better," I'll be like, fair enough, you do you. But like, yeah, everyone's just got their preference. But like, like especially since the PS5 and the PS4, like especially since PlayStations have just been getting better and better with the PS5 and the PS4, you can get like a serious hatred for still choosing to play Xbox. Like, how do you buy an Xbox Series X over a PS5? Like, people have legit said that to me. Like, how the hell do
Noted.
you, when they're the same price? How the hell do you have an Xbox Series X over a PS? What is wrong with you?
Oh my days. Oh wait, hold on a second. Hold on. 88 says your girlfriend 7A hasn't been in here for a while. Good one. She has actually been on my live stream in the past couple of days, actually. 7A has been on my live stream in the past couple of days. So yeah. But you, on the other hand, where have you been, my friend? That's what I want to know. 88. This guy's got jokes. You got jokes, amigo. You got jokes. Anyway. she in case you're wondering, she's running errands for me. Anyway, I'm joking. Anyway, we move on. Just banter. 88. No, but 7A, if you're watching this, hope all is well on your part. So yeah. 88 has been wage slaving, sadly. Yeah, it is sad. But hey, all of that will come to an end. So I think there is a general consensus on this live stream that poor people shouldn't have children. Are we in agreement, Display?
Yes.
All right. So, wait, let me read this. Hang on. Okay, let me read this. Okay. Caleb Kerr says, lol, I don't disagree that it's better to never have been in any time period. I've just noticed a trend of people complaining about modern life while ignoring its advantages over times past. And so, Caleb, from one antinatalist to another, let me ask you this. Can you understand why people are complaining about modern life? Let me know. I might do an anti-work live stream. I might.
Like okay, the thing is when we're saying, like, obviously objectively quality of life is better, but like, yeah, like I wouldn't necessarily complain about modern life. I just think that no, I would complain about modern life. I wouldn't say but I wouldn't say it was worse than or less brutal than life, like, let's say 200 years ago. But what I'm saying is that either way, there are things to complain about. So there's always there are definite, and those things are still legitimate. So you can still complain about modern life. Obviously, objectively, if you're trying to say that life in the bush 200 years ago or in some random desert it would be better for you because you would be away from society, then no, that's dumb. But what I'm saying is you can still complain about this modern life because this world is built for things to be complaining about. It's not perfect. It's far from perfect. It's so far from perfect that there's always tons of shit to complain about, like, regardless of which system you're living in or which time period or whatever, there's always tons of shit to complain about. So why shouldn't we complain?
Yeah, I look at it like this. Just because there are things in life that are fun to enjoy and just overall positive doesn't mean, you know, I can't complain about the bad things in life. It's like, okay, let me put it like this. No matter how much I enjoy my hobbies, right? I will not be, it will not sit well with me, the fact that there is weights. Oh, damn it. Let me take, sorry, everyone. Anyway, let me start again. Take two. My thing is this, right? Whilst I enjoy my hobbies, right? Whilst I enjoy my hobbies, it will not sit well with me, right? Wage slavery existing will not sit well with me whilst I enjoy my hobbies, you know? The two things can be true at the same time. That is the issue. It's like, for example, Pete, in the comments, where is he? Anyway, 88, where are you? Okay, there you go. So let's see. And he's not there. Anyway, yeah, 88's still there. Caleb's still there. Hey, Display, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. If I wasn't there, I'll probably I'll just mute or hang up. I'm still here. I'm still around for now. Just
Cool.
the time in this meaningless, because at the end of the day, it's all for nothing because the Grim Reaper just takes it all away. But at the same time, you wouldn't want to live forever anyways. But I'm just saying, so you're fucked either way because this is definitely the better of the two. Because obviously dying one day is better than living forever. But at the end of the day, it still has its own problems of, knowing that the Grim Reapers come in one day. So.
So let me read this for a moment. Kelum Kerr says, guys, if you can afford it, try building yourself a gaming PC. It's more cost effective in the long term than being exclusively on console. I transitioned to PC roughly 4 years ago. All right, cool.
I mean, the thing is with PC gaming is like I'm not really trying to complicate because I got a laptop, right?
Yeah.
And I got this I don't like using a computer that I have to just sit in one place and use. And then at the same time, I don't want to complicate myself by thinking of, I need a PC with the best specs. That's why I just console game and just have a nice portable laptop, I got a decent laptop, a nice, slim, decent, good laptop, but it can't play top tier games, but it's good. Cost around £900, and then I got my Xbox Series X, and then I can sit down to game on my Series X, and then I use my laptop for other shit, and I don't ever have to think about does my Xbox have the right graphics card? Is it going to expire in 3 years? No, it just plays every game ever that's built for it and built for any game and any console before that without me thinking about it. And when the new console comes out in 8 years, you just buy a new console and that's it.
Cool.
So that's the thing. It's just less complicated.
Noted. Yeah. But yeah, Calum Kerr says, yes, I understand why folks complain. 88 says, yeah, I'm here. Cool. Okay, so
it's just you look around I don't even know, man. It's just very refreshing to have these conversations because it's
agreed.
It's just everywhere you see, everyone you meet, is just stuck in this just illusion about life and they're just so deluded. They're just clinging on to every little thing, and it's just 99% of people you see, and it's you don't really want to say this because they're stupid, because even intelligent people, people who are scientists or economists and bankers and lawyers, who clearly went to uni and got a good degree, and they're clearly high IQ than themselves. they'll still be stuck in these same emotional delusions about what life is and what life isn't. And it's just like it's just such a, and all these theories, all these opinions are just so popular and supported by everyone that people just take it as fact and what is the truth, when none of it is, like it's just, and you're just lied to by everyone and every single thing around you from birth, and you have to just do so much digging and clawing. And when you find the truth, it's not even comforting. It's just like, damn, at least you know what this life is. And then you don't, I don't know, it's just, and then you just wish you were never born. But it can sound sad, but
the thing is, there's nothing
sad.
wrong
It's
with
not
wishing
sad. It's
you were
not
never
sad.
born.
It's just logical. It's not sad. It's just logical. It's not sad to say I wish I was never born. It's just logical, because once you realize that you would have like your suffering, it's a net. You have caused, you being born has caused net suffering to yourself and probably suffering to others, right? Therefore, it would have been better if I was never born, or if you were never born. And therefore, to say that you wish you were never born, or it would have been better if I was never born, it's not sad. It's just logical. But society will treat it as a sad thing.
No, well, it depends. Like, okay, what led to that conclusion is sad.
Okay.
I think we can agree on that. Like,
Yeah.
but it's okay to feel that way. It's okay. Like, it's not an evil thing to say. If you have a preference where you wish you were never born, that is okay. But if someone says it's sad, I can understand what they're saying. I think they're just simply saying what led to that conclusion is sad. Like, for example, some people have experienced abuse, and it's come to the point where they're like, oh, I wish I was never born because I was abused, etc., etc. That's what led to that conclusion is sad. I think that's sad. For example, do you remember Sun Goddess?
I don't know who you're talking about. Who's Sun Goddess?
Basically, I had a viewer, a subscriber called Sun Goddess, and she basically died over 2 years ago.
Okay.
And basically, where am I going with this? What I'm saying is, it was sad that she ended herself because of what led to it.
I see.
Yeah, because of what led to it, like she was dealing with narcissistic abuse, all types of abuse from her family. So that's what led her to.
She used to speak in this, in these calls, or speak to you.
Yeah, not frequently, but like maybe once or twice, probably once.
A while.
Yeah.
Now, yes, of course, yes. The things that lead to suicide is sad, but
that's why people say it. That's why people say it's sad. It's because of what it leads to.
But the thing is that the act in itself.
Display. Let me correct myself. I meant to say what because I made a mistake. I'm saying the reason why people say it's sad is because of what led to the conclusion of wishing that you were never born. Go on.
Oh no, I understand. But the thing is that it's a sad world, so like there's much more sadness in this world than happiness. So like what is it just becomes logical in a world that is filled with suffering. You know what I mean? Obviously it's sad, but it's not sad, but it's logical in a world that is filled with so much suffering and sadness in it, where so many different things can happen to you, so many different things can happen to others which can affect you, and even you could do some things directly or indirectly which can have an effect, so it's like there's so much different potential for suffering that the sad, like it's sad, but it's like, it's when you say sad, when someone says sad, it's like sad that maybe they're implying some kind of you're unlucky, right? And there's
something wrong, or that there's something wrong with wishing you were never born.
Yeah, that's when they say it's sad, it might imply like there was something that's sort of unlucky to you. But when you really, I'm saying if these people looked at how much suffering there was in the world and took into account all these different things and actually saw it for how it objectively is, it would actually be lucky. Like, it's not unlucky, it's actually quite, like, the suffering is quite normal. And what a lot of people do is they use delusions. They try and put on a smile. They say, fuck negativity, pushing positivity. They constantly push positivity. They push through. They talk about, success stories. They like to highlight success stories. People have pushed through adversity. Basically, everything they can do in their power to make it so that, regardless of what's happening in the world and what's happening in your own life, you still find a way to smile through it and say, "Yeah, I love life." They basically want to force you to be a lover of life as much as possible, regardless of anything else. You know what I mean? And that is just unfair, and it's not representative of anything that constitutes actual reality. So therefore, when you say, like, when people say, "Oh, it's sad," like, I don't think they're saying it's what you're saying is correct. It's sad, the things that made you realize that, but they're saying sad as in, oh, you're unlucky, you're one of the unlucky ones, you're one of the unlucky few. Well,
I think
meanwhile,
what you're trying to say is that
are
some
loving life.
people say, I think what you're trying to say, correct me if I'm wrong, you're trying to say that some people, when you say that you wish you were, if you make the statement that you wish you were never born, some people will call that statement alone sad rather than what led to that statement.
Yeah,
Is that what
exactly.
you're saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, some people think just the mere thought of you wishing you were never born, they think that's sad alone. And it's not necessarily, to others, it's not necessarily sad. Like, there are some people who rarely suffer but would prefer to have never been born, and that's okay. That's okay, because if you had never been born, there's no harm there, because you're in non-existence.
Exactly.
Oh, wait. Display. Hold on. PP is here. Perpetual pleasurist says, hell no. Poor people should never, ever have children intentionally.
Wait,
or
one sec.
Okay. Anyway, I'm going to continue reading this. Perpetual pleasurist says, hell no. Poor people should never, ever have children intentionally or negligently. Ideally, never. I 1000% agree. I 1000% agree. So, well said. To anyone who is watching, if you think that poor people should have children, please explain why. I want to see a justification as to why you think that poor people should have children. I want to see this. I've never heard someone in my life say, I want to be poor. I've never heard someone have a desire to be poor. People want to get out of that situation. This isn't me poor shaming. That I'm not poor shaming. I'm just saying, considering that people don't want to be poor, don't have children when you're poor. Okay. Yeah, the consensus is that people... hang on a second. Give me a moment, guys. Okay, I'm back. Anyway. Calum Kerr says, at PP, lol, earlier today, I was listening to your video about reincarnation. You have great takes. If a God exists, it's definitely evil and or stupid / incompetent. Yeah. Agreed. Agreed. Okay. So so the consensus here in the live chat is that everyone believes that poor people should not have children. So there's not much to say. There's not much to say. There's not much more to say. So I'm going to end this live stream then. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. A Display, thank you for coming. And everyone, please like and subscribe and tune in for my next live stream. And it's going to be called Do Parents Have a God Complex? Okay, take care, everyone, and all the best.